Hello, and welcome back to the Stockton Esports Podcast. My name is Kevin Gualberti. I'm your host, and my co-host today will be Kyle Crane, back at it once again. How are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good. In today's episode, we just got back from a trip to Massachusetts. They played well, getting 4th and 5th respectively. We have Hayden from the Smash Bros team and Anthony8pizza from the Rocket League team. Hayden, how you doing today?
Doing pretty all right overall, I'd say.
And Ant?
I'm chilling.
Well, that's good to hear. We're going to get right into this one. You guys just went to Massachusetts and CECC for the East Regional. And what were the expectations you had for the team going into the competition? Ant, I'm going to start with you.
All right. Well, this weekend was a little different because, unfortunately, two of our star players, Drip and Top Cheese, weren't able to come. So it's kind of unfortunate. But I would say that with our alternative sub that we had to use, which was Valk, he played pretty well. Definitely, it was definitely something to get used to. But I think me, Deck, and him overall, this weekend, we played, I think, up to our expectations on at least when it comes to rotations and everything within the game. We played pretty well. Yeah, overall, I'd say I enjoyed what the energy, at least the levels. I think that's what Alex brought. Definitely helped, and it was overall fun, and I enjoyed it, so it's pretty good.
Now, Hayden, how about you? How did what expectations did you have for the Smash Bros team?
Going in, we were I believe the 4th seed. Going in, I had a feeling we weren't going to nail first place because of Fisher College and their kind of ridiculous performance overall. But seeing as this was my first major LAN, especially for college, my expectation was to go in and try to at least perform to my average and hope that the team can do the same thing. As for everything surrounding the event itself, I had literally zero expectations, so I was just going to go with the flow of it all. I would say in the end we at least met with those expectations, which was pretty nice.
Solid. Moving over to you, Ann. As you mentioned earlier, you're missing vital parts of your roster from previous semesters. Did the new roster surprise you in any ways, or did it meet what you thought they were going to do at the LAN?
Yeah, so definitely the addition of Deck, because he was originally at WVU, West Virginia University. Him coming in and I guess helping the team, at least even through CRL, having him as an addition was definitely a plus, because now he's rank X in the game, which is a really high level ranked player, and as well as his team being around top 16 now within RLCS, at least I would say. Having him was definitely a help at CECC. And then even with Valk, bringing him in, definitely his energy levels, I think, helped at least on LAN, which was good because I know it definitely was his first LAN experience. So I think he at least had fun as well. But with the new additions for our roster, at least at CECC, it was definitely different. It wasn't expected because obviously last second we had to kind of just figure out what we were doing because we didn't have our two of our players were missing. So definitely having Deck and Valk, it was a little different, but I think we managed pretty well. Valk was more of a demo heavy player, which was good. It kind of helped clear the field for me and Deck to do what we want. And Deck being as mechanical as he is, definitely really helped us score some pretty cool goals. He had a peak. He peaked once or twice on some shots. It was kind of tough, but yeah, definitely. I think our results this weekend with this weird but new roster that we kind of had to play with, definitely I would say met my expectations, and it was fun.
Yeah, and obviously, with a new team, having newer players coming in, they can always bring a couple rotational problems because you don't have that chemistry that you have. And Hayden, I'm actually going to send this over to you. What did you think about your team's performance and the new young players, including yourself, to continue the legacy of the Smash Ultimate team?
I think our overall performance was pretty good. We had Pokemon Master Nick, who was able to hold down and take some good stocks with his Inkling and his Min-Min. Both of them did pretty decent. We had Jake with his pretty good Roy, who managed to do some nice things. We had Noah and his Mewtwo carrying the team midway through with his Mewtwo Shadow Ball, doing a lot of work for him. Oliver and his Game & Watch doing some pretty good, nice heavy lifting. We had Andres and his Incineroar doing some very nice stuff. He got some nice clips. and then there was me who kind of was there to close things out for most of the time. I think all of us collectively, we fulfilled whatever role we were kind of trying to play to pretty good success. As for what I think the future is going to be for some of the new players, we have, I believe, 3 guys graduating after this upcoming year, 1 after this semester. So I think me and the other guys that are sticking around are going to have to put in some work trying to find new talent. And for me specifically, I want to start getting into coaching some of these guys that are not quite as up to par to try and build up a new upcoming team that can hopefully carry us into some nice results later down the line.
That's good to hear. I love to hear all the young people trying to improve for the next generation of students. And now moving on to another question about the trip. Ant, this first one's for you. What was your favorite moment / highlight of the competition?
Totally. Definitely was, I would have to say, we got pretty hyped this weekend. So definitely on the bus, I know on the way up we were talking about doing some little celebrations and stuff. So it was kind of sick. We did some little, Val came up with this, it was, I don't remember what football, maybe you can remind me.
South Africa in the World Cup in 2010, I believe.
We started doing that little dance, you know what I'm saying? So, after a couple of games we won, we got a little boogie down, you know what I'm saying? Had some fun with that for sure. And then I would also say, definitely just meeting some of these other players that I've never met, definitely with T. Carell, he was kind of cool. There's some pro talent there. As well as, meeting some guys I knew like K. Frost and Pyros on Nichols, because they're a really good team. And playing against them as well, it was definitely good. I wish we got to the finals, definitely, but it was definitely a good match between us. And overall, I just had some fun with it. It was good.
Same question for you, Hayden. What was your favorite moment / highlight of the competition?
I mean, it has to be us being able to play on stream up on the big stage against Hartford. Not only because we won, not only because I kind of clipped a hero, not going to lie, with a random 0 to death out of nowhere. But I think we were able to all show that we were able to perform, not just in a way that we win, but in a way where we're all able to contribute in our own way, and we're all able to take on sort of another school and be able to take them down on the big screen on stream. We were all so nervous for that stream. I mean, it was exciting as anything being up there, but from VOD reviewing and all that afterwards, it was clear that we all had some little bits of nerves here and there, me included, me especially. But I think overall that being on stream, being able to look back and see what we were able to do, seeing us in camera on stage up there, it's such a nice feeling to be able to get to watch all that.
And now you had that on-stage experience, but I want to know, you were being the anchor of the team when you guys were on stage. I believe you guys were playing University of Hartford. And I just want to know what was going through your mind when you picked up that victory against Hartford, and how being on stage on an event like CECC can mess with your mentality, if it did, or just give you more nerves than you normally would have playing off-stream.
I think the problem with not necessarily the problem, but the struggle of being on stream and knowing there's people watching you. It could be one person, it could be 1,000 people watching you. But when you have someone against your back watching you and you know there's some stakes on the line, it takes you out of the game in a way where you're almost preoccupied with the notion of, I have to win, I have to win, I have to try to win, I have to do this to win. But I know I have to do this more to overcome it. I have to focus on the minute aspects of what I'm doing in the game. It's less about I'm doing this to win. It's more I'm going to do this to win this exchange in order to bring them here in order to land a kill. And I know I was trying to rush a lot of my stocks, especially in our final game that we had, my Mithra against one of their players, Ridley's. I kept trying to two-frame forward smash, which I know is an interaction I've literally never been able to land. But in my head, because I know it can happen against some characters, I was just like, all right, I need to do this right now. So it's going to take time to be able to get used to the fact that there will be people watching every now and again. And it's just about taking your mind off of everything around you and focusing instead on what is happening in front of you, because that's realistically what's important. It's not about the winning. It's about playing the game well.
That's a good, solid answer. Now, earlier we went over the favorite moments, but is there anything you wish went differently in the competition, starting with you, Ant?
Well, obviously, definitely just beating Nichols. I think, as well as even beating Fisher, we went to Game 5 with them. I don't think we should have lost that game. But don't get me wrong, Fisher's definitely a good team, at least like the one that was there, which was Kevin, Falls, and Tasek. They're definitely a good group of guys, good team. But I definitely think with the roster that we had, we should have beat them, that was in our group stage. So if we beat them in group stage, we would have got the 1 seed and probably would have made finals. Nichols definitely was, I would say, the best team overall that was there. But unfortunately we lost that. It's okay, though, because it didn't matter because we would have had to play Nichols anyways, which we wound up doing anyways in the playoffs. But I definitely wish that in that game specifically against Nichols that we took our time a little bit more on defense. There were definitely some times where, like, we would rush the play, rush the ball, diving, like, unnecessary at times. And, sometimes I always felt like we were out of rotation, just, like, going in the opponent's half, like, maybe for, like, a demo or something, and just, like, the ball's in our half and, like, where you're getting pressured by 3 players. Like, we need more people back on defense. It was a lot of different, like, struggles, definitely, just because I would say, like, it was definitely hard getting used to some of the things that, like, no offense to him, but Valak was doing. It was a little different than what I've normally played with. But, I think me and Deck overall managed pretty well. We played solid, though. I think even the fact that we took a game off of them was, like, showing something. But there were definitely times where, like, we were up, like, 3-0, I think, in Game 4 with, like, 2 minutes left, and we just threw the game away and lost. So it was definitely kind of that moment right there was just kind of unfortunate. We just needed to take our time more and realize, like, we're up by 3 goals with 2 minutes left. We just need to take our time. And we probably could have pushed it to Game 5 and maybe took the series. So definitely that was my the one thing I wish that went better for us.
Same question for you, Hayden.
If I was to pick anything that I kind of wish went better for us, it would probably have to be, I wish, whether on the fly or in preparation, we did a bit more research and knowledge checked a lot of players and characters and specific character interactions. We were given kind of the opportunity to do that in friendlies ahead of time, but I feel like we kind of were too focused on just playing the game instead of stepping back and being like, all right, let's see what these guys have. Let's watch how they play. Let's study their habits. Let's go on Ultimate Frame data. Let's look up the frame data and see how their character might interact with our character. I think Smash Ultimate is a difficult game, not because it's an execution test, unless you play Kazuya, kind of, but it's difficult because there's so much you need to know before the match even begins, and I think beyond just knowing the basic controls of the game, having an idea of what's safe on shield here, what has this much range, where this is going to hit, can this 2-frame, can that edge guard, knowing all of these different what-ifs ahead of time and knowing matchups and how to take care of them is a very important thing that I think we kind of lacked on doing overall. I know I have to work on that, and I'm going to definitely help the guys work on it too. We all need to take more advantage of the resources we have to research specific topics and get better at certain matchups that we don't know.
And I think that goes with any other game as well. You always want to make sure you're doing research ahead of time about your opponents, regardless of the game and what mode you're playing. But, I just want to know, has this competition prepared you in any way for the next semester to potentially qualify for CRL, or has it just been a different mindset towards this event compared to the others you've been a part of or the others you're going to be a part of in the future?
I would say both, to be honest, because we definitely had to play with a different mindset this week just because we were missing some of our players. But overall, I think this event actually, like, motivated me just to, like, grind out the game a little bit more than I have been. And I just feel like definitely, like, I think in the future, like, me and Deck definitely were talking about, like, we want to grab more scrims. We want to learn more about, like, what's going wrong, because there's definitely, at least within CRL, like there's definitely some issues, at least when it comes to like our play styles and how we work with each other, and we definitely want to figure that out before the next fall. I also, like, we don't know what's going on next fall, whether roster change, whether, you know, if Drip will play, if I'll play, you know, we don't know any of these things yet. And until that time comes, like, we kind of just have to grind out with what we know right now. So definitely, I definitely think that the mindset has changed to more over, instead of playing to the best of our ability, it should be changed to more over playing to the best of the team's ability and what we have to do to better each other. So that's what I would say.
Solid. You always want to be self-critical, be ready for the next thing. And now, speaking about the next thing, this question goes for both of you. We'll start with Hayden. What are the expectations and mindset of the team going forward into the last chance qualifier for Arlington coming in March?
Going forward, we definitely need to all put in the effort to try and tighten up some loose ends, figure out some new strategies, learn what needs to be learned, develop what needs to be developed. I know there's some specific tech. There's new stuff coming out recently involving shield play that I need to start taking advantage of, and I need to practice tech that already exists, perfect my combos, learn new combo routes. And I think that goes for everyone. We all need to, depending on skill level and who it is, we need to all develop better understanding of what neutral game, advantage state, reading the opponent, developing habits, getting rid of bad habits. And I think it just comes with repetition and practice, and I think we just need all of us need to put our hard hat on and just get to work with it all.
Solid. Same question for you, Ant.
At least when LCQ comes, I think we'll storm through it. I would assume. I don't want to just sound cocky, but I definitely think with the roster that we will have, at least when that time comes, we should be able to, you know, work our kinks out. As, you know, we have, I think, was it 6 months? 5
It's
months?
March
Okay.
when the thing is.
Yeah, so probably 4 months till that happens. So I think in that amount of time frame, we should definitely be able to fix our issues with at least the team. And I definitely think that all of us individually will become better players when that time comes, as long as we each keep playing the game and putting hours in. I definitely think that the LCQ stage should be on the easier side, at least when that time comes. So I'm just looking forward to honestly playing it. And for now, what our goal should just be is to just keep scrimming and keep grinding as a team. And eventually, something good will come out of it. So hopefully by then we should be ready for LCQ.
I mean, those are some good answers. I love hearing that you guys are willing to work and put in the time and effort into getting better and honing in your craft. And I just want to know, Hayden, with most of the Smash Ultimate A team, your team that went to CECC, being seniors, what was an event like this meaning to you, as this was your first LAN experience as big as CECC, and this was also a chance for you to take the reins and understand the next step in your position at Stockton Smash? What does this mean and this event entirely mean to you?
I think seeing as I'm one of the younger players on the team, and seeing as over half our team, roughly half our team, is going to be gone in the next year or so, I see it as a chance for me to get a first glimpse of what is going to be coming in the future, and I see it as an important opportunity to take the leadership role, and knowing now pretty clearly that I'm able to help these guys learn, and seeing the improvement they're all starting to show with me giving them some guidance, especially Jake. He's gotten a lot better recently. I see this whole event as a means of showing me that I have the potential to take this team and new players to, I would like to hope, new heights that we aren't able to quite reach yet. I think with some added work, we're able to, once some new players come in, and hopefully when I'm able to help them and give them their time to shine, I think all of us will have the potential to do a lot better than we're currently doing. We're doing fine right now, but I see a lot of potential in me, in Jake, in some of the younger people that are on lower teams than us. I think all of us have the potential to get a lot better and get a lot farther in competition.
And most of the Rocket League team, if not all besides Top Chiefs, are sophomores at this moment in time. This means you have 2 to 3 years in order to work out the kinks and get to the highest level of CRL. And I just want to know, with an event being like this, facing teams like Nichols and Fisher, also having teams like Delaware and Alvernia in the bracket, what did that event mean to you, and how are you going to learn from it going forward?
Definitely, at least for the next, for the next 3 years at least because we're all sophomores, I definitely think that we will be, like, good by the time, at least I'm a senior. Like, we have time to, like, learn a lot of things, so I think it's good that we have that time. But at least within this event, playing teams like Nichols and Fisher, teams that have experience, Nichols have been playing a lot recently. At least from what I've seen, they've played in almost, like, every LAN, every tournament they possibly can, just grinding out. Like, each of those players don't even have, like, teams separately, like, from, like, their college team. So no matter, like, if it's a weekly tournament or anything like that, like, they're always playing. So playing a team like that that's really grind heavy, like, I could see why they won the event. They spend the time they put in the time and the effort to win. And I think that's something that we also, as a team, need to do, is to put a little bit more time in to just improve ourselves. And like, playing these teams with a lot of this talent is going to help us learn how to beat, like, just playing them over and over again will help us learn from them and learn from our mistakes. And then by the time we play them again, we should be able to beat them, at least in my opinion.
Alrighty, and that's going to be it for the questions we have today. I just want to know if there's any last words that you want to say, any shout-outs you want to give, anything you want to say to the people listening to this podcast, or even potentially for a future message for yourself. Hayden, I'm going to start with you.
I'd say the only thing I want to say, or at least one of the few things I want to say, is to anyone on my team who's currently listening to this, I hope it's all of you. You better be. We're doing great, guys, and I want us to keep doing great. And for those guys that aren't going to be here by next year, I promise you we're all going to keep going great, and we're going to keep doing better than we are right now. Besides that, I want to thank everyone for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell. I think that's all of it.
Any last words?
Shout out the team. Shout out Valk. You played great this weekend. I don't know if you're listening to this, but I was impressed for your first major, LAN experience. Proud of you, to be honest. It was definitely a big thing, and I'm happy you enjoyed it. I'm happy you enjoyed the time that you spent with us. It was fun. I had fun. To the rest of my team, at least, I definitely think that we should play more together. We gotta grind a little bit more if we want to win some of these CRL matches for sure. But I know we're gonna do great things, and watch out for the future. We'll be out there. We'll be out there soon. We'll be out there soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Alrighty, well, yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. That has been me, Kev Dog, and my co-host Kyle Crane. Kyle, send us out.
Thank you guys for watching. Go Ospreys.